de Ohene nana Kwakye adiefe afeyenye bre na yemfa ensem chire mu so emesumu
Boss 93.7 best news.
Yes, share the free kramumpuni mantemu na Ghana mampeni abedi chire yewura Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia wono so na so na yeshe ensem wase edi free na dwumade bia koso ewon kramumpuni mantemu a Ghana mampeni fo na afa bi ma ahodo mpeni fo wono nyina do omoni kultu awisi so ebeta dwumade wi chire na mampeni abedi chire ye obi a omoye so omra na ono so emekasa enso dwumade nu achire na bra kasa no ena odi tu dwa so ohemu a Ghana eyo mane a ye de tutu bi man hodo aka no ho ye nyina ye danso esanse Ghana nko na abibiman ya Oba Africa ha no mo a entokwa ne ekun asi ama hodo so no ye ndie ebi ensi ha abatu achiri ntokwa ne ade no Ghana nko ade enkoto aba ema ntokwa ne kun ensi da na no ena mampeni abede chire Bawumia ade atu dwa se we ya ade bi a esefota se bibiman ena fa mampeni fo mu de bibiman no omu nyina aka bo mo eba Ghana na ase na ombesua ne mabebre enso edi free mu dwumade edi an da so no Democratic Union of Africa ya eno eye afidida na sa afibia fa sho mo sha na sa mu di mo nkomo no ena mo de be so nkramumpini mantam na no ena odi atu dwa se Ghana ba de hye bebre na de aba ebi eye digitization say ye keka ne ma bo ni na afidi bibia fa be computer ni de so no abo yi pa ama ne ma etimi akoso de ama Ghana ne ma bebre no ri tu dwa se Ghana ba de egu akwan so nam so ama ene oman ni mo aye jojo ye ne ye de etwa amahodo enso mpo esefata se ma ahodo mpanifo no omo so esua ne ma enso edi free oman ho mampani abedi akire Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia
93.7
abusuafo ye hwesa yensa ebeka yewura Bawumia ne no na yabo ama monsoso muatie bi na yegusua ye hwe se yensa beka ne yensa kan no a yebebo na monsoso muatie nsem a yewura Bawumia enso edi tu dwabra abiman ahodo empanifo be hyiaye na womo so edi omo komokwan betimi afaso atoto niema ama enyema ye yi no bi no enna ye hwese yensa be ka na ye yabo ama monsoso muatie bi yentie nsem a mampani abede chire Bawumia de tu dwa enso ewo dwumadie no asie no
significant achievements under the leadership of President Nana Akufo-Addo. Our government's emphasis on education, healthcare, and digitalization has led to remarkable progress in these areas. The introduction of free senior high school education has opened doors for countless young Ghanaians, ensuring that education remains a cornerstone of our development. Our healthcare incentives, particularly the expansion of healthcare infrastructure and improvement of national health insurance, have significantly enhanced access to medical services for all Ghanaians. Furthermore, our commitment to digitalization has transformed various sectors of the economy. We have implemented a biometric national identification system which has enrolled over 18 million Ghanaians. The digital address system has provided unique addresses for millions of properties. These initiatives have not only improved public service delivery.
Mampani abedi akire Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ene etene kan dwumadie yase no ebiman panifo ahodo afi aman bi fiti Nigeria man no Ivory Coast, Togo, Enafi, Namibia, ni amahodo mpanifo bebre ba dwumadie no ase a omoso do moni munyam enso ebeta dwumadie no enso akire ebie ye de ani kire mo ewo National Democratic Congress ndi sameko no womonso aso na yewura mampani dada John Dramani mama so gusu a ya wo bontoa enso ede ema ndi sameko no enso ewo ho na mampani adada yewura mahama ede atudwa se enani nansa pepepe enna special prosecutor Quantum Crow ye ohwe ketasha ne proemu nhwemu organ hade betu dwa se ebas nhwemu a ye de ho sembe dan no se onye nhwemu fanfan se mampani dada yewura John Dramani mama bra oye mampani abide che so wi se de ma my Ghana no MCC kabi fa ne nsase a esefata so mohwe na wonum etimi gisika ne firi ne hono no na mampani dada mahama e de atu dwa se nani age hu yi pa se ene eba so nsensem no special prosecutor yemu nhwemu nyina wie na ode abatu dwa se mampani dada Muhammad ye enya de asika bia fa ne nsase na se dwumade na ekoso no yebetima ka se one Ghana city kura so no etimi afa ne nsase ye ode nsami tu dwa ebra dwumade bi ko so ye no afidida enkai dum ede mayewura PV Oben na omo ehwe no mama kasa dwumade wase na yewura Mahama enso ede sansemi enso ede ekotu dwa ko so ahye endi samekunu nkrane ene amanyekunu maso bia nka ne ho emomo na nyame adomo am de hia eyenkunimdie afida bato ni mu se endi samekunu enso ebedi enkunimu yentie ni se mode tu dwa ene smado kae ede fa yewura PV Oben enso eho ebi
by him and several others in order to forge a consensus to come out with a homegrown fiscal consolidation program. And he was one of the prime movers. He was one of the major resource persons, together with the late Dr. Kwakye and several other people, Nimoy Thompson. It was after this forum when the synthesization of the results and reports of the Senti Forum were taking place that one afternoon, as a shock, PV dropped dead, when he had gone to a filling station. I felt lost because he had been the pivot in the whole Senti process. It was only when Nimoy Thompson and Kwakye came to me and told me that together with PV, they had finished the bulk of the work and that all they needed to do was now to put it together, and that even with PV's death, they will be able to write the homegrown fiscal consolidation policy. And they did just that. But it is to his memory that whole process
93.7
came out with the fiscal consolidation policy, which became the basis for the next IMF program in which we entered. Indeed, that fiscal consolidation program was taking hook, line, and sinker. The only thing that was changed in what we had recommended to do was that in the second year of the program, we're supposed to do zero central bank financing. And that is how come in 2016, for the first time, our government financed its whole budget and its expenditure from our own revenues without taking one cedi from the Bank of Ghana. It is unfortunate that PV died when he did, because I'm sure that if PV had been alive, probably President Akufo-Addo would have found a role for him to play in his administration. I doubt if PV would have accepted. Lessons from the life and works of PV Oben. There are many lessons to be learned from PV's life and work. Within the time constraints of this commemorative lecture, I may diminish aspects of his life as I highlight my preferences. This dilemma about which lessons from PV's lives and works I should share with you led me to what Chinua Achebe wrote in the novel Arrow of God. Achebe stated there that whenever people have asked me which among my novels is my favorite, and for me in this case, which of the lessons from PV's life is my favorite, I'm paraphrasing it. Chinua Achebe continued, and I quote, "I've always evaded a direct answer, being strongly of the mind that in sheer insidiousness, that question is fully comparable to asking a man to list his children in the order in which he loves them. A paterfamilias worth his salt, or if he must speak about the peculiar attractive, a paterfamilias worth his salt, if he must, would speak about the peculiar attractiveness of each child, instead of which is his favorite child." Nana Chairman, I'll follow the example of the celebrated African writer Achebe and speak about the peculiar attractiveness of some of the many attributes that we can take from PV's life. And the first, Nana Chairman, is that there's a lesson for young people, our youth and students. Student activism is good, but it must be born out of conviction and must be measured and reasonable. As Vice Chancellor Dr. Emmanuel Evans Amfom said of PV, as SRC Secretary, he was a tough, and the key word is he was a tough but reasonable negotiator for students' rights. Sometimes student leaders and student activists take their leader.
Mampani dada yewura John Dramani Mahama ena yetini ken yewura mu apomudi mu nsemu kakra na obu onu mu abehwe na ne kidney ne sabo no yade abem obi a kidney na ase ne sabo no emienu ba ko bonkum na ba ko bonifa na kidney adwuma nyina ne se fie bebe ni padua ni no ene be samfo ni padua no yi fi no e de afa ejan ne adwunso mu ne ko ba se bi a dwumadie die no yade abem anase na hoodin ko fom a na entimi nye e ba sa no fie woni padua no be se wo se kidney hwe no pam ni nyina ba bonti na ontimi mpam a na enhye ni padua nti obi a ne kidney ase bia behwe na ne nase atatai na efu kakraka na chese fi no na ehye ni padua no sa no a esafata se o kidney sayi anase na hoodin ko fom a na wotwe bia obekọ ayasabia na eye kidney cancer plant no akoda so na atwe ho fi na wo se kidney ye ne ntimi nye no na afiri na atwe ho fi nyina e de afiri mu a na wotwe bia doctor fo se nka obenya nka bia ambra prensa mo kidney ase na so sika sam ni ade ntie na okoya ba ku bia 500 Ghana cedis ubetimi atua na wotwe ubenya 1550 minutes kadada no ya na akwa di pa na no na betodwa se wodo ni kiremo kolebu aban ya asabia empanifo mo na da ya asabia no titiro ni nkraba to mo hwe eye renal unit eso mo hwe eye kidneys ensem ho no edan ya mo asie ye mo de afidi asimu a mo de hwe amanfo mo nya kidney how ni bi no wo mo atum na senti o matum ni se ni mo de be ya adwuma wo sa dan ni mu no eho akwatwe to mo pese obi be ba se be ne kidney ni sa abo asaye a ohia mo na afidi de twen ko mo so na aduma da be wo pese de ni to mo atum prekon ye wo pese wo kwakofa asem bia enso ede aba ne sa so nti pani ono eno mo kidney mfonso abamu oya pani odo ma no Ghana ha ode atudwa se na wochimienu ni no enkra ne nsa aka ne se ono akasara onuanom miensa ye omunyina kidney asaye a kolebu aban asabe ho na no mbehwe omoye ho yade no emu miensa na ahro mo kwa ontimi nka nsu dua se bia afidie no a eni ho no amba beda so amna twifi no ena eku omo anase de na enso mu odidie ye se be no a ena eku omo esanso kidney sei na se fi ba ho no ankotwe a eye
93.7
sere abamu panifo se omutu ho na mo sesa nyame admo na wotwe besi mu no ombe ye kire de tia Ghana ban ene kolebu aban empanifo sei ena yewura no ede ensem no enso etu ensentro for anymore
out of the dialysis that because of the cruiser I wouldn't speak I wouldn't know but I know I've lost 3 people
Within that period.
within the period and like I said I don't know I'm not a doctor I'm not here to take their job whether it was because of the cruiser I don't know but we've lost
enti pani ono ena omo kidney yade abemo oda o ma no Ghana ha ene